Am I still live? Okay. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on the study tour of Great Britain, with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may as well be his or one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Okay, it's him. Mr. Natsumi, good morning. Oh dear, you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsumi. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Norhondo Esquire. Yes? I got a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea that my case was was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhondo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just a coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks. Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it! Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in the courtroom, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? A trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGill. What a horrible experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon? For what? For what appears to be a mundane murder. that's the question the papers are. That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane. It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsumi, but that is how the paper. That is how the papers describe it. Well, at least we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, a reappearance of this infamous prosecutor, he's caught people's attention. But there's a never blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Norhondo Esquire. I missed that. It's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stands against the legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhondo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsumi, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London with a little in the way of experience or skills of luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I'll believe in you, Mr. Natsumi. Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Norhondo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsumi. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotaba Esquires. I'm in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness. Mr. Natsumi, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. All right then, Mr. Natsumi, it's time. Let's go. Yes. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this. I'm ready for this fight. Oh, they got a new jury. Sorry. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are truly a fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a capitoriate, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do believe your arrogance is an appropriate description. Sasarte-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquainted and his unfortunate violent end. Thank you, Gonzales. I feel both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry your duties here in the court as impractical members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. That's Mr. Fair Play, what? Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. And her. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that the mustached foreigner did the deed. Well, come on. What are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well. Let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Sosuke Nanatsumi. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I'll tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody earth they are. Just look at this sallow complexations of a short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's just get it over with. Let's just get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Pray forgive the discrepancy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call my first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. No, he really is our Detective Gumshoe of this game. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias and Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. Of course. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attackers, knifed the attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask for everyone to look at the street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Brea Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. As to the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. Sorry. Court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch! That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Suzuki-san, I suppose. Suzuki. A common or garden jackknife. I would say rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume. From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, I'll be looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim. I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshop, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsumi possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man, in spite of that, in totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Okay, dude. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. I hate this guy. But your words have soured its hallowed banquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the Constable came to arrest the Nipponese student. Yes, sir. As I said, it was 5 o'clock. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one. There was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Okay, but if there was fog, how would you know that? Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind, subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Ah, yes. I can clearly see the books. Okay. I'll take the photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. You, Nipponese friend, are spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Six, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sato? Do go on. Mr. Natsumi has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhondo? Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. So walking along the accused pavement, I can make out a sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat. She was just as... Okay. Showing my screen and collapsed into the cold slabs. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has nothing more than to admit he fled the scene of the terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, Consul. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Hold it! A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther there. That's light, is... That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expected. Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by a horse before I could see the carriage they were pulling. That's such a judge thing to say. So Artisan and I could definitely remember to stop to look and listen. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. Okay. A fact no doubt laminated by the accused.
Hold it!
How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That's correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of this situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. Ah! The prosecution believes that there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witnesses' statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony.
Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Out of the blue, the victim stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the
Hold it!
From behind, you say?
That's right. As you can see from this print. Yes, quite, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly producing from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition, comatose no less? I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated as at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. Would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary,
My client has been extremely unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsumi's belongings. I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books. They were imperatively damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could have easily carried all 3 books in one hand, which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsumi had his hands full with his books. He managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. Shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of this scholarly attention. The works room was stacked floor to the ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at this, the street map again, I'm afraid.
Orban Books. I see.
Closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourne Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mirchscum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in the lodgings of on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end, which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route we've been taking home. Okay, something like this.
Okay, that's updated. So that will come in handy.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhondo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's location. Sum of 2 shillings turned into receipt of the picture of Montesquieu Lequay, a meal for Gabriel Santrabury yearnings. Your books. Orban Books. It's not the same name. stock the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes! It could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? He's on his way home from Bourbon Books, secondhand bookshop. He apparently
Hold it!
Nice. So the shop is called Bourbon Books, is it?
That's right. That's the closest signal. Okay.
Let's get from the back to his room. Uh-huh. If I could just confirm one point, can we be sure that the defendant really did visit Bourbon Books on the day in question?
Well, we haven't actually confirmed it, no. You haven't confirmed it? Why the devil not, Inspector? Well, the thing is, the shopkeeper's gone on a trip, you see. Left the morning after the incident to collect more stock, I'm told. So, we, haven't been able to ask the bloke if the accused visited his shop on the day of question or not.
Well, in that case, what did the defendant himself had to say about it?
No recollection.
What?
According to the statement he made at the time, the accused has no recollection of where he'd been.
Of course he doesn't.
The bloke clearly has his head in the clouds whenever he's walking about town. He claims he has just wanders into things, whatever bookshop he happens to be passing, and barely notices the name. I should say the man ought to learn to look where he's going at the very least.
So, it's just as I thought then. Is something the matter?
Inspector, you may continue with your testimony.
Okay. Your books.
Objection!
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, sunshine? I'm busy. I'm a busy man, you know.
This is the receipt that we found in Mr. Natsumi's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Wait. Your Books. Your Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my books. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsumi did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What? Inspector, do you know this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if that might be of help. Oh, yes. Thank you. Have a look at this. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bob and Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed the location at all.
Could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where the other book is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer? Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir?
What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out Your Books... It's just here on the next corner of the Murchism Street going east.
And there you have it. As you can clearly see. Oh.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. Oh my fuck. The way he regales us with such witticism. To your future career in the circus. There's no way. He truly is the reincarnation of Edgeworth. I said reincarnation, I meant ancestor.
You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here you go. If the accused was coming back home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books. Yeah, I figured. There's no doubt he still would have passed past the place where the victim was stabbed. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Ah!
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Mr. Naruhondo, we mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide Mr. Natsume's is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must consider the assertion just put forward by We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. It claims Asogi-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but I didn't mean to click that. Oh well. His assertion to be made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, Gonzalo. Yes, my lord. You see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsumi could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Yeah, I was also thinking that too. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But, yes, I got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsumi which route he took home. I have already informed the court of this accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe this! I thank you, my learned Nipponese friend, and suggested that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what you say, you insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, I agree with Lord Van Six, wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean? We, members of the jury, are completely convinced now. Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings of the court.
Guilty!
Oh.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Ha. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Get up, Narhondo. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Narhondo? No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those eyes of query, not willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into the acquainted British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it acquainted if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a subordination examination if it so chooses.
Very well, Gonzale. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summonation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course, we're ready. I'm all too familiar with the Nipponese whippersnapper and his Orcus' refusal to throw his ally. Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. For pity's sake, the Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If he said that the women in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. Back home from the bookshop, not in the winter. Okay. So if the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes, nice shop that. But woven books? No, not worth a visit.
Most of these aren't even related to the case. Okay.
With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say I have an ample grounds to convict this man already.
Even the judge is leaning towards guilty. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced Mr. Natsumi's guilty now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhondo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue, yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to force forward.
Okay. You have the floor, Cancel. Begin your summonation examination.
Yes, my lord. If we keep this trial going somehow, I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you can do it.
Gulp.
The defense's rebuttal. Pity's sakes, any news. He admitted it. He did. Excuse me, but aren't you...
Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work.
Okay.
And it was all going swimmingly until you started foresicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry.
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day.
You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals.
Oh, well,
You know, water under the bridge.
now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock.
Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. He said that a woman in green... Okay, oops. Glass before his eyes. Why it could only have been the victim.
Hold it!
You're right. Oops. You're right. That... You're right. That at the time... You're right, at the time of the incident. The defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let us not forget, madame, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? I could tell what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. Ugh. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you're too kind, my lord.
Oh, hey. Haley. Welcome.
Okay, that went well for her. The man would have gone around in the houses, on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsumi could have taken back from your books. Oh yes. Like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Kabalash Road or something?
Paulo let down Haas. Brings it back.
Precisely. I had to do something if there's no stream. That's what I gotta do. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And I understand it. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is this all true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Having follow streams and the gang together is a routine. Yeah, it usually is. But he's too tired to stream. He's been getting tired a lot lately. He just needs to, I don't know, sleep early, I guess. Skill issue. Look at me, I'm up past midnight. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. Giving it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Kabalash Road way, it'd be different. It'd be funny to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway the young man's opinion without one. Okay, so we definitely have to pit his argument against another juror's. He said he stays up clearly all night for him. Yeah, that's true. M is his sleep paralysis demon or something. Okay. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsumi his room. The master's wife?
Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade. This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd be selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear. So I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway.
What is this? This is, the Great Ace Attorney, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's a game about, like, lawyers and all that stuff. You play as this, defense attorney lawyer, who's, like, Japanese, and, he, moves to Japan to study law, and, defend, people in, murder cases. And it's like, you basically gotta, like, solve crimes. That's like, I guess, the basic gist of it.
Okay, I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsumi, the defendant takes lodgings in your master's house, doesn't he?
That's also the reason why I'm also giving a lot of the characters British accents, because nearly all of the characters are, like, British. Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsumi look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness, yes. He's just the sort.
What?
Spending all his time in the dark I was about to say the posh English accents. Yeah. A lot of English people. Spending all his time in the dark in a dingy room sprouting that unscrumptious mustache. The man never speaks. Don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsumi. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so.
Bloody English is so annoying. Do we? No. English isn't that annoying. You're very negative about anything that comes to British. I think it's rather charming, to be honest.
Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already.
Already don't care. Can we, just rub this
Hold
one.
it!
Oh, whoops. Okay.
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. It's a part of us. It's a part of us. To be honest, doesn't help. Oh, it makes makes me sound like my accent. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Els. You should insult him too. Just do an impression of him. That's what I do. Hey, it's me, Mortal Death. I got a tiny cock and balls. That's what he sounds like. If I work, I don't eat, and neither do my wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's hard to slog from dawn till dusk. It is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly. Interesting to know about it. About his cock and balls.
I mean, have you heard his voice? It's so high pitched.
Like a baby. In fact, if I remember rightly. Don't tell him I said that though. It was just around the corner from here where it all happened. By the bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Mearscrum Street was.
Mearscum Street. On the map, Mr. Naruhondo, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
Okay. We're getting somewhere? On that day it happened, I was digging up Merchant Street from dawn till dusk. I get it.
Your books, yes, nice shop. But bourbon books, no, not worth a visit.
Hold it!
Sorry, fold it. You say, fold what?
No, I said... What I said was, hold it. What I wanted to ask you was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
I feel like I've seen the guy in black somewhere. I mean, I think I've sent like a few gifs in the WhatsApp chat before of him. So maybe that might ring a bell. Anyway. And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
So before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after a dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Capital Blast Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's mostly slippery.
Maybe it just looks familiar. I mean, it's an iconic. It's somewhat of an iconic game. So, Paul and I'm not true friends. I'm the only one here. I mean, I don't really say that when I'm going live. I just do it at my own at my own pace. I don't really expect you guys to join here and watch. Like if they don't wanna watch, they don't wanna watch. That's fine. That's fine. I'm fine. Just, you know, having no views. When did the view count screw up to 4? Oh wow. Hey, hold on. Knocked up myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Kabalash Road. That's right. I live on Wait, what did he say? Cornpipe? I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Kabalash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Yeah, yeah. Having a lot of people watching you is like, gah. Heading down Kabalash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Okay. Joy number 6. I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear that the members of the jury are so convinced of Mr. Natsumi's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree. It's the irrelevance of some of them are saying that sends shivers down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsumi of anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhondo, cunningly. Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again carefully. And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other. Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Okay. So...
Hold it!
Oh shoot, I didn't mean to click that. Love the fits. Very old English. Yeah, this takes place way back in the past, basically. It's like essentially it's a prequel game. Like this is where it all begins, and then like from there the rest of the games start off in like the more modern days in Japan. Does not stop down on past structure. Okay. That means the roadwork was still going on when Miss Green was attacked. Around 5 o'clock. Okay. Okay, let me look at the court record real quick. Alright, yeah, thanks. So let's look at the map. So Brea Road would be here. it's how Americans portray us. Is it? Because it's like it's made by people in Japan, and then it just got localized to English. So I'd say it's more how Japan views Britain, I guess. I was digging up Mitri. Okay. So this way was blocked off. So that means... Okay, so we'll pit him. If he said the woman in green collapsed before his eyes, could have only been the victim. I forgot it's a Japanese game. No worries, no worries. Okay. For pity's sake, his oddity already admitted it himself. The man wouldn't have gone around on his way back, not in winter. Okay. So then it would be these two, correct?
Objection!
There's two statements clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, Cancel? Explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Yeah, what? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3?
Oh, me, sir? What do you mean?
See, nice reaction. Paul would have attacked me. I'm just a chill, normal guy. Juror number 5's words just now are exactly significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsumi visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. On the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Merchant Street, making it impassable. Which means that
So is that a slow?
Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken along Meerschaum Street and down Rare Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? Yeah, we must have had a good two yards or more of the pavement out. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion to this, the defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around his house on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice.
Yes!
My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may?
Yes?
I don't think, in all good conscience, that I can say the man's guilty now. Like an adorable Santa? Yeah. The judge kind of looks more like Santa, to be honest. What about you, sir? I think I accidentally skipped his dialogue. Okay. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir?
Who, me?
Well,
Alright then. But there's a hole to the prosecution's argument. It should be filled in. That's what I say.
Well done, Mr. Naruhondo. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds, at least. It strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not.
No, yeah, he does it. He does. It's the beard. Yeah.
If we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy, that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsumi. We might be able to tip the balance completely.
Santa Dumbledore hybrid.
Van 6 is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Cancel. On with the summonation examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
I have nothing to say at this point, so I can see where the trial goes from here. Okay.
Whether it's digging up roads or digging up the truth, you've got to see it through to the end, haven't you?
I slipped over that evening myself on Calabash Road. I knocked myself out clean, you know? So the poor man attacked from behind. Was she, Not sure if I want to be a junior IRL so long. I mean, yeah. But it'd be pretty fun, to be honest, to get to witness a court proceeding. If he said he saw the woman in green collapse before his eyes, well, I can only have been the victim. Hang on, let me look at the court record again. Map, okay. Okay, so he slipped. So the ice is slippery. I really don't know. I'll save real quick. I might be wrong on this, but... Okay. What the dark juice stuff? Dark juice stuff. Ooh. It's between these two, I'd say.
Objection!
Yeah, no, okay. Oh, juicy. Okay.
Objection.
There we go. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, Concel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot.
You slow down typing? Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct.
Well, yeah, he's old, Ellie.
But he does remember. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection.
Try to be slow and steady. This one was ending up last in the race. The old man needs to listen louder. Yeah. I mean, you're the only person here so far, Ellie, so like, technically you're still first.
Can we really be sure of that, madame? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my. My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting?
Is it some now composer? Oh no, that sucks. Oh. I mean, hey, you're a conductor. Conductor's like the next best thing.
That the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant was collapsed in front of his saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today. This is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has somewhat of a similar build to the victim.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Well, look at that.
My goodness me.
Sorry, you need to pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Kabalash Road. Therefore, if the person whom Mr. Natsumi saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly...
Oh, the next best thing to be the best thing. My 30 points all down the chain. Ask Paul. He recited them. I don't know why.
And if that's true, then clearly
The crime scene on Brea Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home.
oh my,
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we would have boxed this off hours ago.
and really, what are you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly? Oops. For the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on ice?
Thanks, M.
Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
No need to be mean to that to the poor old man. He can stick up for himself, it seems. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict for not guilty. Thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well,
Well, the scales are now balanced.
well, examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion.
Elderly people don't take crap from anyone. Whoops, accidentally skipped that. The A is 2, the no's 4. So the no's have it not guilty, they say.
Which means we no longer have concerns among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Ah, this dude. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray, forgive this courtesy. What? When did I say that? I'll have to listen back. Lord Vanzix! It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Whatever do you mean? I haven't tricked anyone. Everything everything I said is the truth. Indeed, Starlight Druid number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. Wait, let me look back. Oh, the summonation examination. Maybe that's what... I probably mixed up my words there.
That's right. Took me the whole took me the whole day, and they paid me measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, the distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Van Zig's looking like a fancy Dracula. Yeah, he even drinks from a wine glass. They call him the Reaper of the Bailey, apparently.
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I do like a cave, very dramatic, yeah. He is very dramatic. Like, did you see the way he crushed his wine glass? I have little doubt, however, that he would spring over a 2-yard trench in his misreadings around town. Is that true, is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsumi, walked down Brea Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And, old man...
Cold man, you can talk?
You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
I can't say as I remember.
You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was the old man that the accused saw? But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Order! Order! Lord Van Six, explain yourself.
My lord?
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not prefer it during the summonation examination?
He's the NHS. What's the NHS? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have reached, I feel. So, my learned Nipponese friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about?
My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
Oh yeah, the NHS is the UK's the free health care. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Its next witnesses. Mr. Narhondo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were witnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. I remember one of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Six brings to the stand, his witnesses, and no matter what they say, bleh. I believe in Suseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end until the battle is over. Oh. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Constable Raleigh Bates, sir. Nothing to report on these streets, sir. And I'm Miss Betty Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this Youngstown's hero wife. What's the story here? That's what I'm saying. Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary. Paul and M. Paul and M. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Oh, this policeman's uniform? Yeah. Hardly surprising. While this being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. They look like kids? Wait. How old are they, actually? That's a good question. 21, 23, okay. A devoted London Bobby who witnessed the incident whilst walking down the street with his wife of a year, Patricia. The wife of Constable Raleigh Betty, who is a witness to the incident. She's relatively recently married and fiercely proud of her policeman husband. Oh my god, that is Paul and M got Paul to a fancy dress into a policewoman. Maybe it's her kink. Okay. Maybe. Indeed. Apart from rare days of our gallant officers, trudge some 20 miles a day, you know? They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey streets, check that meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean, and extinguishing our street lights. Oh yeah, those poor men having to on those streetlights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet if I'd be collapsed long ago. It goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension
of criminals.
Fancy dress kink, is that a thing? I don't know. Look it up, I guess.
Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Brea Road in the opposite direction.
Well, Paul likes her meowing. Definitely kink in my opinion. Don't want to know what goes on. Bedroom between them.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll be like, oh, Pooks, Schmookums, Sorry.
And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs.
How do you say that? Betty?
Mrs. Betty?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Raleigh?
Constable Raleigh Betty, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's going to be.
Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir. It was our wedding. It was our wedding anniversary, and Raleigh was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. He left his YouTube stream up, and he was singing his however he spells it, song. Yeah, I remember that. Kind of embarrassing. And kind of strange how he just still uses that even off stream. He ran straight over. What was he talking about? I kind of forgot. Two silhouettes appeared in front of the fog, the pavement in front of us. We ran straight over, of course, and then we went for help at the nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Raleigh and I both saw him clear as day.
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear, the policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsumi at the scene. If their testimony is true, who's innocent? Who, Paul? The alternative course of events that you established in the summonation examination will be quashed. It's deaf nil, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place.
What an unfortunate, be chancing. And on your wedding day anniversary, too.
Oh, I know. but I still managed to get Ugh. But I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
The whole schmookums and pooks makes me cringe, but I tolerate it as they are very, very sweet, so I accept it. If it were strangers, then I'll be judging hard, I would. Yes, Paulie's innocent, bless him, so harmless. See, innocent? I wouldn't describe him as innocent. But, yeah, I'd say heartwarming is the correct term. I wouldn't say innocent. What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witness saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsumi. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that man's so tired his wife has to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
Heartwarming, yeah. He was a bully. He was bullying then, no.
He's just like Joshua Carrillo from The World Ends With You. Wedding anniversary. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Miss Bates? Oh, sadly not. Sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Damn, sexism.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job. Can't you? I think Raleigh looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
Oh. Huh? What? I just finished my beat.
Brad and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Heartwarming, yeah. I'm still behind your World Ends With You videos. Need to restart and watch again. It's fine. Like take your time with it, I'd say. No rush. And like, if you're ever confused about anything, just don't be afraid to ask.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Raleigh, I much prefer you in your uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. We're going for a meal after you finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm a proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end.
What's that now? My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. There's a noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such noble cause, I offer 20 miles every single day, without fail and without grumble.
Probably confused on most of it. It's annoying me. Again, just like go for the whole series and like try to at least finish it. And if there's like anything like you're confused about it, I'll just like explain the entirety of the story from start to finish, I guess.
Sir, for such a noble cause, I could. Okay, I already read this. Because I know that that the floating of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure.
So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. B. Oh, God. Ew. Mrs. B puts up a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Pat. Oh, Raleigh. Ugh, they're just like Em and Paul. What a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Anyway, two silhouettes appeared and the fog of the pavement in front of us.
Hold it!
Yeah, come up with as many questions as you can. I'll answer them all. I don't mind answering questions. Two silhouettes. That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Brea Road in the opposite direction. God, the English dialogue, it's so Em and Paul. Yeah.
Ooh, cinema.
There was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound like the victim. The victim is pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume. Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby? Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there's streetlights on Briar Road, you see. No problem. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? She has to choke him to wake him up.
Yes, that's right. Of course. There's a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight on. Dead straight on. You could see it a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrian.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, hold your answer, please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure? Are you quite sure what you've just said?
Yes, sir. As a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Raleigh.
Yikes. Is policeman on something? He can't stand up. Smoke weed every day. He's just very tired. He's been working every day.
They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsumi, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed.
Okay.
Hold it!
I gotta move on.
Scattered? Scattered something? What do you mean by that? Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then, when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
What? Yes, that's right. It was some old books. I see, old books. Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement.
How long is this game?
It's pretty long.
Like, what is this? This is part 9. And this is like the 3rd chapter of the game. There are, I think, around 4 or 5 chapters of this game. So I'd say I'm like about 60%. I'm like 60% done with this game, and like there's only like a couple few procedures I need to go through until I'm finished with this, and then it's on to the sequel. That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we saw him. It was the man in the dark without a question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose, everything.
This is actually M. Paul. This is too accurate, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right. He looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes, and then suddenly threw his back onto the pavement and ran away. Ugh, my throat. I see. This is tough. It seems as though they're telling the truth here. Yeah, they don't seem to be lying. May I remind the courts that this ambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now, please, continue.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, accidentally skipped last two. So that's it then. The entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruhondo? Well, I'd hate to admit it, but on hearing the But on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beats saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene of Brea Road that day. Yeah, I should probably drink something. Actually, I'll be right back. I'll go get something to drink right now. Okay. Nice and refreshed. Yes, I feel the same. So, if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after the testimony. Oh no. Then, what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here... What are you trying to say? I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal, calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. Oh, right. Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Why do I always seem to be so up against it? Okay.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help? I was about to do a gamble, but forgot. I'm not on Twitch. Yeah. I don't have Twitch, nor do I have any bots here. Nor do I have any mods. No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. I asked Miss B to go. I was off duty by that point. But Bobby's never truly off duty.
never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Perceiving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see? I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Patricia's eyes, not sure if I should be amazed or creeped out.
She's just got a nice sparkle in her eyes, I guess.
Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it.
Are mods a thing on YouTube? Or am I just naive? Yeah, mods. Yeah, there's mods on YouTube as well. But I don't really have any.
I could make you a mod though.
I believe. But that's really up to me, or if you really want that though. What was he saying? Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. Okay.
So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat. The incident fell under, so she could go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir.
Let's move on, shall we? There's definitely the Japanese man in the dark. Alright, last one. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the lights of the gas street lamps, would you?
Oh my goodness, she's dragging him along like a puppet. Like a ragdoll. I'd like to take the mod job.
Okay, get my CV ready.
Sure, I guess.
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yes, what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those who also have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't see it. You can't see the hand. You can't see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yes, all right. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp. You see. That's why we can tell for sure and certain that it was a little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
Oh my god, poor guy, his neck's in pain. It'd be awful. He's probably too tired to even feel it, to be honest. What? Yes, it was the accused, and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taunt mouth, the snub nose, unmistakable, sir.
As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. So Saseki-san, they saw running away from the scene of the crime. Oh, seems we've reached a standstill. Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. Wacky with all this... with all the hired policemen. Oh, wait, wakey. What? No. Oh no. It's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. Let's see who's the dominant one in the relationship. Yeah. I remember every last detail, everything. Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one. I could, every single one.
Oh, that would be a big help. Please do.
And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
That will do, Miss Bate.
No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Raleigh will. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down.
Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Bate. Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling?
Okay.
Alright, I'm guessing this is where we contradict them. I could even tell you the names of the books they dropped.
Hold it!
Stop shaking, Paul. Yes, we know the name of the books were dropped. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question. I wonder if Paul would simp over Patricia. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, send a photo. After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look of the area for good. I am a proud policewoman's wife after all. I did it for Raleigh. And what was your husband doing at the time? No, he was lying face down on face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know, ever so hard. Don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Miss Bate, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene?
He likes blondes, actually confirmed? Oh, wow. Okay, let me see. I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? He calls you a simp, but he somp. Oops, my bad. Let me start again. Okay. I get what you mean. Uh, there was there was a picture, Monsieur, somebody or other, and was it Yearnings? Cause you a simp, but he simps over fictional characters. Yeah. I mean, I don't unless I mean I don't unless it's like unless it's brought into discussion about like who's your favorite girl. I'll just like answer like, oh, I really like this girl. She's like pretty cute and nice. Okay. The names of the books were these: Male Cover, Century Earnings. Okay. They're somewhat accurate. Then there was a meal for someone, and a last one was definitely the thing Yummy's something. You see? Yes, I see there are one or two holes in your testimony. Oh well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? Don't you agree, darling? Oh my goodness. Anyone who upsets Patricia will have to answer to me. He's got a gun. Terrifying. Yes, she really is. So that's it. That's the entire testimony. Okay. Okay. Well, it's definitely the last one. So all we gotta do is just present the final contradiction, and then jackpot. Okay, so I can even tell you the names of the 4 books. How? Van 60 changed his outfit. Am I losing my mind? Okay, so he took off his cape like midway while he was like when he I can't remember what it was, but like I think like after like the scales were tipped over, yeah, he like took off his cape. You just need to pay attention, LA. To like what's going on. Okay, so the contradiction here: 4 books, but the receipt says there were only 3 books. 1, 2, 3. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Objection!
Objection. So, you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right. I remember all of them. In the picture of the Monoscure, somebody, what's your earnings, a meal for someone, and the thing, Yummy's something. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in your statement, in that statement of yours. Stop mentioning your wedding anniversary. You and Paul aren't even married yet. Look at her. He's like, oh, Pooks. Pooks, oh, please give me more points. I'm trying to pay attention. I'll try harder. Yeah, okay. Okay. Or you could just, like, zone out and, like, you could just ask more questions and I'll just answer them like I usually do. Oh no. What flaw? Simply that, the scene of the crime. There were only 3 books, not 4. What? This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yes, and it is, yes, and it details Mr. Natsumi's purchase that day. As you can see, only 3 books are listed. Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books. I tell you, 4 dirty old books. Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. But I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it, I saw them. No, madame. I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied. Though you say you saw the defendant, you saw. You could very well be mistaken. Oh no. No, 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 no. No!
Objection!
It's plainly evident. I also wonder where they got Pooks and Smookums from. I remember he said that Pooks was from like Garfield, because he calls because Garfield's like bear is called Pookie Bear. That's what I remember. I don't know where Schmookums came from. That it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. Leave the man alone. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Ah! So, you've still striven to avert attention from that by dint of some indisquatial dispesancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. Oh? You see, the matter is not up for debate. Message retracted. What did you delete? Okay. At the scene of Brer Road, a total 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say? God. Look at the way he's holding it. So posh, yeah. The way he threw it into the cast of fire, and then very posh-like. Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand. It says the message is redacted, and that's what it says. I don't believe it. It's the fourth book.
As you will observe, the fourth book was hidden from your view in the original print by the victim's torso.
No. No!
I think YouTube deleted it because you probably must have said something like pretty provocative. Because like yeah, YouTube can like delete like comments that are like inappropriate or like something that they don't like. I don't know what you said, but I guess YouTube didn't like it, I guess. Order! Order!
There, you see? You see? Look at that. Look, 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 look. Yes. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Speed, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh yes, of course. The picture of the Moniscure somebody or other.
The picture of the Moniscure liquor.
Oh, I said yearnings.
Canterbury yearnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gabardayo, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witnesses remember. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly. Bruh, forget, save for a few minor details. I can't enjoy a chill stream when YouTube's getting grumpy. Yeah. Miss Beat's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Raleigh? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia's flawless.
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Miss Beat mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the fourth book is that which is shown in this photographic print. I'm sorry, Consel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the fourth book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book. I wonder what became of the fourth book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. Man needs to rest. He needs to nap in the back room. Who needs to rest? Who needs to nap? Oh wait, you're referring to. What's his name? That police officer. Mr. B. You submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, Consel. My pleasure, my lord. Alright. The prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add.
What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. Policeman, yes, yeah. Raleigh, that's his name. This British longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summonation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile. I walked right into that. I walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we've said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat.
So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese transvesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too ample already? You've heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. And this trial has run its course. Mr. Narhondo, I'm afraid we are in terribly precious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make it worse. I'm slowly learning. I always come into streaming like I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you'll understand the more as you go. And I mean, you can watch like the previous parts if you ever want to understand the context of a lot of things, I guess. Well, I gotta raise an objection. Because if I don't, well, then it's not gonna look good for us.
Objection!
Objection! I'm not done yet! No, my learned Nipponese friend, it's over. At last, cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for the debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Six, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh? I am, to my shame, still very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Mr. Narhondo. One of the land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So the court will hear you, madame. Is there multiple other games to this? Yeah, there are. Oh gosh, how many games? There's like the first three, and there's the Apollo trilogy. There's the investigations. Then there's this. Then there's this game, which has 2 games in it. So I think altogether that's like what, 10 games altogether? Yeah. Anyways. Go ahead, Mr. Sato, please. Very well. Freya, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue it further? This is a nice Christian chill stream compared to the bullying one. I'm just a chill guy. I'm not really anything special. That's why. Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? 10? Yeah, there's 10. I think, at least. I might have miscounted. Mr. Naruhondo? What do you think? I suggested to Paul that he should play the Ace Attorney trilogy on stream after he finishes Persona, but I think he has other games he wants to do first before he after finishing Persona is the thing. So I don't know. Ace Attorney might be at like the bottom of the list of games that he wants to play. Mr. Naruhondo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. Nothing really special. Mean to yourself. Mean to yourself. Everyone is special in reason. I'm just a guy. I don't really have anything special to bring. The judge is sure to ask members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take the opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible. Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mrs. Sato. This is it. Sato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. Can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. He's so stone cold.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into the case has been overlooked.
Let's see. Might be missing something here. Knife? Then there's that. Why is the book like that? Yeah, it's on this side as well. I also relate to that. Nothing special. Yeah. I just don't got any cool talents, to be honest. Oh, look! Look at this! The book has been badly burnt. You're right. You'd never be able to read it. In this state, especially not the later pages. What a terrible waste! Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. He said he wanted to play that bullet game. Did he? Did he start that? Yeah, he started it. He played it on his in the morning on his birthday.
was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I was expecting a lot of cursing in that game. Someone tried to burn the book. It seems that way. For what reason, I don't know. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? The lion's... Wait! Oh, it's starting to make sense now! A book entitled The Lion's Pride discovered that the victim's hand at the scene... The back cover is badly burned. Good to... Control pretty well. Don't think that's cool, though. Okay. So that makes sense. The wife burnt the book, and then it went, then that leads to Mr. Garrydad being the culprit, or his housemaid wife.
Take that!
Right? The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. Oh yeah, I missed it. I was on my yucky 4 a.m. start. Actually, might have to watch back the bully stream. Yeah, there was a bunch of bullying as well. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the scene of the crime. Is my controller dead? What the? There's no way. Alright, one moment, please. Was Paula bully? No, it was, Em was being rude. She's being rude to me. There we go. Controller connected. There we go. All good. Streamer not prepared. I thought it was well charged. This controller usually takes a while for it to die. So that's why I thought no, it's probably good. I don't need a charger or anything. I probably should have checked the battery life before playing. Anyways, the events in question. Okay, I already read this. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We've already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, Gonzalo. I must concur with prosecution on this matter. When I offered you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question you contained a hetero undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, Kunsel.
Tut-tut? What's tut-tut?
So I must insist that you elaborate, Kunsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhondo, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right.
So, Kunsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case which this fourth book concerns?
Okay. Well, obviously on the burnt mark here. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Good gracious! It's been burned to a crisp.
I was tutting at your unpreparedness. It only took a minute to fix. It's like I already have like my charger right next to me. I'm always prepared. I was prepared for it if my controller's about to die. So, well, like I wasn't really expecting for it to die on stream, to be honest. So we had to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. What is the crime here? Oh, somewhat murder? So there, this woman, what was her name? Olive Green or something like that? Yeah, this woman here, Olive Green, was stabbed, in the back. Now, I have a photo of it here. And they all think, the person that we're currently defending, this man, this man, Soseki Natsumi, they think he did it, because he was the only one present at the time of the crime scene, and he's Japanese and not British, so you know obviously they all think he did it. And now it's up to us to defend him, because we're the only persons. We're like the only people who offered the help, and yeah, we're just basically just doing our job, I guess, to defend him. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some valid clue as to what happened that day? Murder, juicy? Yeah. Every, like, 99.9% of these cases are just murder cases, so, yeah, it's just a simple murder mystery, solve who the killer is kind of game, you know? So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some valid clue as to what happened that day, pray, do enlighten us all.
What truth does this charred book hide?
A charred book? There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance certainty, but worth a try.
Natsumi seems to be seems to be a popular Japanese name.
Natsumi.
Is it? Maybe that's the joke of his name, is that's just a popular common Japanese name. I don't know any other Natsumis, to be honest. Like I don't know. There's like none like ringing any bells, to be honest.
Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer. Longer than Kunsel. Explain the theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this book of this sorry tome has suffered? The shop that sold it, its owner, its content. Okay. The answer is, I do like murder mystery games. Yeah, it's then you'll enjoy this game because it's literally just murder mystery. Solve the who did it, who killed that guy, or woman, or thing. Its owner.
My lord, the burn on the back of book of this. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers.
Or maybe I'm just streaming. Questioning everything in my life. Dunno, I saw Natsumi pop up in the game a lot. Yeah, I'm unsure. I don't know, it doesn't ring any bells to me. I'll have to look up what it means later, to be honest, because I feel like it has some sort of, like, meaning to his name.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has a very credible answers.
Good gracious, how can you possibly?
Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Stop shaking, it was triggering me. Gonzalo, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So, tell the court, who do you claim the owner of this burnt book?
That's easy. Okay. John Garydeb, retired army man whose landlord of the house returned it, rented by the defendant, Mr. Natsumi. An old knee injury means he's confined to a chair most of the time, though. John Garydeb.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garydeb.
The landlords.
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Gary Depp herself. Poor guy will have neck pains for the rest of his life. Not a way to live. Nah, he'll be fine. Oh my goodness me. Otherwise he would have asked for a divorce. I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Gary Depp's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Gary Depp's house? I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? It's the accused landlady. Okay. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
No. This is not mere conjuncture. The defense happens to know. Paul might like that. Paul might like that. He has a thing for maids. Yeah. Just got a picture of her. What do you think of this? That on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Gary Depp's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, concern? A fire, my lord. Alright, it's going exactly as I imagined. Ready to say it happened in the blink of an eye, you know? The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Divorce, neck pain, probably has happened. The Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title that's the subject of this debate. Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is reciable. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in the fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. Look at the book, dude. It has a burnt mark at the back. Like, what are you on about? I might actually get a bit of the maid. I showed the Paul. He probably asked him to try. It suggests the maid for his own entertainment purposes. Yeah, surely. And entirely unreasonable to interfere that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was martial discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Gary Depp was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Gary Depp even amid the flames. No, how awful! I can't imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Wally? Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Went up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. Magically removed? Bruh, it's burned. Don't be stupid. I was back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incredible books incoming, 10 to dozens of them. And Patricia sus for me. So what you're saying is you think that she's the killer? The man had his back up against the window, and he and had burning books thrown at him. Good gracious! Are you suggesting that the book was thrown through the window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a further investigation of surroundings investigation of surrounding the area was conducted in the very evening of the incident, and there was no report of the Gyarados windows panes being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no signs of broken glass when we visited Gyarados' household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time in?
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of the winter. Ah! Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, Concerto? Do you earnestly claim that this book found on the scene was flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Gyarados' wife?
She's definitely got some sus on her. Definitely not Paulo Raleigh. He doesn't even know what planet he's on right now.
I don't think it's them. I think they're like, so far their testimony seems to be the truth. The only possible killer it could be is Mr. Gyarados himself. Since, well, actually no, it could be somebody else actually. But right now it's pointing towards, the clues are pointing towards him. That's what it seems.
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough? Who said that?
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are. Now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff was set in the whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case. Not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name. No, I assure you, that was never my intention. Dragging an upstanding citizen name for the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears. That's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
You want to know who the killer is? Well, if you want to know who the killer is, just keep watching, I guess. We'll find our answer. Probably, I don't know. Probably not this stream, because there's like there's like still a lot more to go, to be honest. I'll stop until like the next recess comes up, probably. To right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from that scene too. Calm down, woman. I do declare you're right. It's true. Yes. What did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Sorry? What's that? Oh, wait, what did he say? Well, it appears that the ladies and the gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your opinion? What is your position, Lord Van Zix? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... Okay, dude. If books are your predilation, my learned friend, study them on your own time. What? No, forgive the discrepancy this time? What? No, forgive the discrepancy this time? In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Guilty.
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 Guilty. Guilty.
Some interesting characters here made make me feel I'm not doing good enough job if I was a maid in training. She's not really a good maid. I'm gonna tell you this, Ellie. she literally set a house. She nearly set the house on fire. And she ate for like a dozen cakes, threw a bunch of books at her master. And it's because well, they're technically both husband and wife, but like they're trying to keep that a secret apparently. But yeah, I wouldn't say she's good in her job. Not to mention, their house is a mess, despite her being a maid. Everything's just cluttered. Thank you for your ambiguous response. It's twice now. It's over. Mr. Narhondo, don't give up. Mr. Sato. Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting? Of course, the defense has the right to another summonation examination to this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to the summonation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Alright. With that out of the way, I shall end stream.
Forget her then. Terrible maid. Do better. Dun 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 dun. But yeah, thank you all for coming, and thank you, Ellie, for watching. I'll now end stream. If I can remember which button was the end stream button. Goodbye.